Hey everybody, so today we are going to rank starting goaltenders in the NHL, 1 through 31, all teams. This is an idea that I had a few days ago and just getting to do it now. Before we get started, I just want to say if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. As long as you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, there are videos here for you, so hit that subscribe button and follow the channel. Alright. Before we get started, I just want to say this is very subjective. This is 100% my opinion, and there's lots of leeway and room for movement here. Obviously it's not completely subjective. If you have Jonathan Quick ranked in, the 20s, that's just flat out wrong. But you could have Quick as high as the best goalie in the league, or as low as, 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th. There's room there. So this is subjective, and it's my opinion, and if you disagree, that's perfectly fine. Let me know why down in the comment section below. So we're going to break this into 3 parts because I'm not doing all 31 goaltenders in one video. So this first video, part 1, is going to be 21 through 31, and I have them up here, but they are not in order. I'm going to put them in order now, but these are the lowest tier of goaltenders in the, they're not all on the same level, but they're 21 through 31 in the league, in my opinion. So let's get started with number 31, the worst starting goaltender in the NHL. In Carolina, Scott Darling. I can't rank. He's number 31. Last year, he did nothing to prove that he should be a starter. It could be a starter in the NHL. He had a terrible save percentage. He had an awful year, and he's just the worst. In a league, overall, the goaltending in the NHL is very, very good, especially starters. If you're a starting goaltender in the NHL, I mean, most of them are very good goaltenders. So, some guys are probably going to be ranked fairly low, and you're going to be like, wow, they're that low. But when you look at who else is out there, this is a really hard list to do, especially as you get into the top 15. As I got into the top 15 ranking all these goaltenders, it got very, very difficult. And putting one ahead of the other, it was just... They're both, when you're looking at, who should be number 7 and who should be number 6, they're both great goaltenders. It's hard to pick one over the other. These lower goaltenders were a little bit easier to do. Number 30, whoever starts with the New York Islanders, I have Greiss and Lehner both listed because I think that's an open competition. The training camp and preseason, I think, is going to decide who starts in New York, and I don't think it matters who starts in New York. They have a big-time goaltending problem. Whether Lehner starts or Greiss starts, they're number 30. It doesn't matter which one. Neither are a great NHL starter. Both, I think, are much better suited to be backup goaltenders. Number 29... Craig Anderson in Ottawa. That would not have been the case 2 years ago when Ottawa was in the conference final against Pittsburgh, but Anderson had an abysmal season last year. He's getting older. He's up there in age now. He's very inconsistent, and I can't rank him any higher than 29, given what I expect from Ottawa this year and what they did last year. He can't put him any higher than that. I don't expect any huge bounce back from Anderson this year or anything. I think he is what he is, and that's what he is. 28, Jacob Markstrom up in Vancouver. When he came into the league, he was really thought of as like this really good up-and-coming goaltender, this really young goaltender that's gonna, come into his own and become a star NHL goaltender, and that just hasn't happened yet, and I really don't think it's going to. He's decent in net, but he's not anything special as far as NHL starters are concerned, and he's definitely near the bottom of the list. Let's see. 27, Jimmy Howard in Detroit. Howard, he's getting older now. His career really started off really well. His first few years in Detroit were fantastic. It's been pretty much all downhill since then, and I have him at 27. I think with Bernier now in Detroit, Howard and Bernier are probably going to end up, splitting starts, being pretty close to playing the same number of games this year. I don't trust Jimmy Howard to be a top 20 NHL goaltender anymore. Not even close. Let's see. Next up, number 20. 26 is Carter Hutton in Buffalo. I cannot put Carter Hutton in the top 25 until I see him do it as a starter. He had a breakout season last year. He had an excellent season last year. And great goals against, great save percentage. By far his best season as a pro. But it was only one season, and he's never been a starter before. I cannot put him in the top 25 in a league with this good of goaltending without him ever being a starter before, because we don't know yet if he can do that over the course of a full season. He did it in 32 games last year, but what happens now when he has to play 60 games? Can he do that over a full season? We have no idea. So the fact that he never did what he did last year before, and also the fact that he's never been a full-time starter before, leaves me no choice but to put Carter Hutton at 26. Can't put him in the top 25 when there's just too many questions surrounding him. If he plays well this season, if I do this again next year, his number will be a lot higher, because I think he has the potential to be a lot higher and maybe even be a top 15 NHL goalie. But he has to prove it first, and he hasn't done that yet because he's never been a starter before. 25, Cory Schneider. Cory Schneider in New Jersey needs a big-time bounce-back season. First of all, he needs to stay healthy. That's been an issue for him, especially in recent years. Schneider has got to stay healthy, and he needs a bounce-back season after last year, because when he played last year, he wasn't all that great. Again, this is a very hard list to do. Cory Schneider has the potential to be a very, very good NHL goaltender, up into the top 15 easily. But he hasn't been that in recent history. He just hasn't. So he's at 25, and he's got to have a better season this year, or his future is going to be in doubt, at least in New Jersey, if he doesn't have a bounce-back season this year. Number 24, Colorado Avalanche, Semyon Varlamov. Now, he had a much better season last year than worthy of being ranked 24th overall as far as starting goaltenders are concerned. But Varlamov has A, had problems staying healthy, and B, putting back-to-back seasons together, consistently playing at a high level. And until I see him do that, I'm not going to rank him any higher, because A, he needs to stay on the ice for a full season, which has been an issue for him throughout his career. And he had a great season last year. Can he do it again this year? The thing with Varlamov has been consistency. That's been one of his biggest problems, because some seasons he looks great, some stretches during the season he looks great, and then other times he looks like Swiss cheese and can't stop a beach ball. And usually with him, if he has a good season, he has a poor season the next year. And he had a good season last year. He needs to prove that he can do it 2 years in a row before I rank him any higher as far as NHL goalies are concerned. Number 23, Ben Bishop in Dallas. Another goaltender with injury problems. And Bishop, he showed in Tampa Bay that he can be a very high-end NHL goaltender. He can be a great NHL goaltender. He has to stay on the ice to do that. And injuries have been a huge problem for him the last few years. And even when he was healthy, he wasn't all that great last year. Last year was not one of his better NHL seasons. So, Bishop's down at 23, and he's going to be down there until he can stay on the ice, first of all, and play at the level that he played at in Tampa Bay, which he hasn't done for the last couple of years. So Bishop, if he's going to get any higher on the list, really needs to turn it around and turn back the clock a little bit. Let's see. Number 22 is Brian Elliott in Philadelphia. Elliott, I just don't trust. I don't trust Brian Elliott in big games. I don't trust him in the playoffs. And I don't trust him to make that big save in a big spot when you need a really huge save. I just don't trust Brian Elliott. And for that reason, he's number 22. I think there are much better goaltenders in the league. And Elliott, getting up there in age, he's really bounced around the last few years. Has not been good in the playoffs, and that just leaves me putting him as, in the bottom third of the league as far as goaltenders are concerned. And that leaves number 21, Mike Smith in Calgary. Another goaltender where staying healthy is an issue. That seems to be a reoccurring theme among these, lower-rated goaltenders. A lot of them would be ranked higher if they could stay healthy and play full seasons, but injuries really rack up with a lot of these guys, and Mike Smith is no different. He's a guy whose consistency is an issue, but his main problem is staying on the ice. If he could play full seasons and play 60 to 65 games a year and, play to his potential the whole season, he could easily be a top 15 goaltender, but he continually gets injured, and he's one of those goaltenders that you watch and you think, man, he really could be good, but he just never seems to put it all together for any long stretch of time. He has streaks where he's really good, and then he has streaks where he is not good at all. So consistency is a problem, and staying healthy is a problem, and that puts Mike Smith at number 21 on the list. So there you have 21 through 31. Next video will be 11 through 20. Final video will be 1 through 10. Those are coming right up after this. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tune in for the next two parts of this list, rankings, and talk to you guys soon.